Hello everyone and welcome to episode 6 of this Python course in which we'll be looking at advanced operations on lists and we'll be learning about dictionaries as well. So let's start with lists. As you can see here, I've already typed in a list called fruits in which we have added the elements apple, banana and cherry. And the first operation we're going to learn is inserting. So how do you insert an element at your desired index value? So here, let's say we want to insert mango into index value of 1. So you type fruits dot insert and then parentheses 1 comma mango. Let's say we want to enter mango, a different element, let's say pear. So what this does is it inserts this into the index position value of 1. So apple has a position value of 0, so the 1 comes after apple. So the new list will be apple, pear, banana, cherry. So let's run it. There we go. And it prints pair is now replaced at index value 1. Keep in mind it doesn't replace the current index value 1, which is banana. Instead, it takes its place. So banana will be pushed to an index value of 2. Another example, we can just change this to 2. And yeah, now it'll be after banana. So that's dot insert. Now let's learn something called dot append. So now we're going to learn about something called dot append, which is what you do to add a new element at the end of the list. So this saves time instead of writing the last index value instead of add dot insert, and you can instantly just write the element you want to add and it'll instantly get added at the end of the list. So we write fruits dot append. Let's say you want to say strawberry, and then we print fruits. There we go, and as you can see it prints strawberry as the last value after cherry. So that's how you add a new element at the end of the list. So now let's learn about how to assign any index value to any element you want. So what do I mean by that? So let's take banana. So banana has an index value of 1. So that's fruits and then in square brackets 1. Now let's say we want to change banana. So now we want to change banana to, let's say, blueberry. So let's write in quotation marks blueberry. So what this does is it takes banana, it replaces it with this value which we entered, and that's how it and the entire word banana gets removed from the list. So the banana will be replaced by blueberry. So let's print the new fruits. And as you can see, banana has been completely replaced by blueberry. So now it's apple, blueberry, pear, cherry, strawberry. So that's how you want to replace something. Now let's say you want to remove an element. So as you can probably guess, it's fruits dot remove. So let's say we want to remove pear. So what you can do is you don't need to type the index value, you can just go ahead and type the element itself in quotation marks and it'll instantly remove it. Now let's print the fruits again, and as you can see, pear is removed from the list. So that's how you remove. Now let's say you want to remove the last item from the list, in this case strawberry. You use something called pop. P-O-P. Keep that in mind as the syntax. So let me just quickly write in comments here. Pop removes the last element of the. So this fruits.pop removes the last element of the list, which is strawberry. So printing the new fruits will only give us apple, blueberry and cherry. Okay. Okay, yeah, since we ran the cell before and it showed when we remove pear and then we reran the cell, pear was not there. So let's instead add apple. So I'll remove apple and remove the last element. Yeah. So it removes apple and then the next one removes the last element, leaving us with blueberry and cherry. Yeah, so keep in mind that dot pop can be used to remove the last element and dot remove can be used to remove any element that you specifically want. So that's about it for operators. And now we're gonna move on to a new topic called dictionaries. So let's just start by commenting a line called dictionary. So essentially what dictionaries is basically a collection of key value pairs, and each key value pair maps to a specific value. So what do I mean by that? Here's a base outline of what a dictionary is. So there's a key, and then that corresponds to a certain value, and that's essentially how dictionaries work. So you can see these in like databases where you input the key and then outputs the value corresponding to the key. So let's say a key has, I don't know, model, and let's say the model is iPhone. So if you were to input model, the output that of the code that we write should be outputting iPhone, because the key is the model and the value corresponding to the key is iPhone. So that's a base outline of how this works. Now we're going to learn about the syntax on how to write and integrate this understanding into a Python syntax. So let's start. Um, yeah. So let's start with the new coding cell. Let's call our dictionary dict1. So the syntax for dictionaries is starting with a curly bracket, not a square bracket or a parentheses. And let's write our key in quotes, and then we go outside the quotation marks, put a colon, and then write the value corresponding to that key in quotation marks. So let's say number 1. And then after this, we put a comma and move on to the next line. Let's put quotation marks again, key 2, go outside, colon, number 2. Again, this is just for example, key 3, colon, oh wait, sorry, the colon should be outside, number 3, comma, key 4, number 4. This is just for an example. Okay, so now let's run it. So we have stored these keys and its corresponding values inside dict1. Now let's just say print dict1, and it prints key is to number 1, key 2 is number 2, etc, etc. Since we haven't given actual any values for number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4, it's just going to print exactly what we entered. So we'll change these to corresponding values once we understand more of it. So let's start by finding out the type of dict1, which as we already know, is a dictionary. But Python is going to print it as dict and not dictionary, because that's how Python refers to dictionaries. Same logic corresponds to string str or integer int. So now dictionaries basically uses the same concept of lists when it comes to accessing elements. So by using your past knowledge, let's say we want to access key number 3, I mean the value corresponding to key number 3. So what we do is we write dict1, and then this time we use square brackets. To access elements, we always use square brackets. And then this time we put key inside quotation marks. So since we want to access number 3, we take key 3. Keep in mind this does not output key 3, but instead outputs the value corresponding to key 3. So let's run it, and number 3 corresponds to key 3, so number 3 is outputted. So that's how you access the numbers. Okay, so now let's try with an example dictionary. Let's create a new one called model underscore dict, again curly brackets, quotation marks, and let's start by describing the characteristic of a student. Let's say age 16, comma, name, let's call it Jeremy, comma, marks 80%. Let's just do one more. Hobby, let's say video games. So we've stored these values corresponding to that keys So the keys here are age, name, marks, hobby, and the values stored within these keys are 16 Jeremy, 80% in video games, respectively. So now let's just print this. So in the next line, let's just exit this dictionary. Keep in mind of the indentation. We have to go directly under the first line. Let's give some space. So print, and then we write our variable name, and as you can see, it prints everything that we have written. So now let's try accessing an element from this dictionary. Let's take a new coding cell, and let's say we want to access his hobby. So once again, as shown before, we type our dictionary name, and then within square brackets we type the key. So the key is hobby and the value is video game, so we type hobby and we put this within a print statement. So that's how you access the corresponding elements for the keys. You don't need to exactly put it in the print statement. Just for formality, I added it inside a print statement. It will also output it without a print statement. So that's just a small thing to keep in mind. So now let's learn about how to add a new item within dictionaries. So let's put that here. Adding new items. So it uses the same logic as a list, but a slightly different syntax. So let's say we want to add his number of friends. So we do model underscore dict, and then in square brackets we put in number of friends, and then colon, and then let's say 10. Sorry, this is instead of colon, now we have to write equal to, and then in single quotes we add 10. So what this will do is takes number of friends as the key and 10 as the element. So this is the syntax. And now let's print the new model underscore dictionary. And as you can see, number of friends and 10 has been added. Keep in mind that here you have to use equal to, so that's a small mistake I made. You do not use colon when adding new items to dictionaries. Okay, so now let's learn how to remove an item from a dictionary. So all you have to use is the statement del. So del is just short for delete. So del deletes any key that and also removes the corresponding value to that key. So we write del, our variable name, and then we write within square brackets the key we want to remove. Let's say we want to remove marks. We write marks, and yeah, that essentially removes it. Let's print our new dictionary with the marks removed, and as you notice, marks have been removed and only these items remain. Now, small thing, if you want to delete the entire dictionary, we just type del and then our dictionary del. No other syntax is required, just del and then our dictionary name. Now let's print our new empty dictionary after deleting it, of course. Okay, yeah, so we just have to add this within a different statement because we already removed marks and now we're running it again. So that's a small thing to keep in mind. Yeah. So the funny thing was we ran it here and it deleted this while also showing an error about marks, which we deleted before that. So after deleting it, we ran it again, and since it's deleted, there's nothing called model dict, so that's why it's showing an error. So which means that our deletion of the entire dictionary did work. So yeah, that's how you delete the dictionary. And yeah, that's it for dictionaries. I'll see you guys in the next episode.